Hey there, welcome to the Hot Slice, the weekly podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine. I'm your host, Jeremy White, editor-in-chief of Pizza Today, joined today by my two favorite people, executive editor Denise Greer and senior creative director Josh Cowan. What's up, gang?
Hey,
Hello,
hey. You
Jeremy.
you
Denise.
know when you get all three of us on what we're going to be talking about.
Probably pizza.
Yes, the
Oh,
upcoming baseball season, right? The
Always,
spring training
always.
yeah.
catchers have reported.
Yep, college baseball has started. We could talk about this all day long, guys.
Well,
No,
we always
I'm
talk
gonna
about
say
like
we're gonna talk about Pizza Expo, all right? We're
All
gonna
right,
talk
fair enough.
about Pizza Expo. We are less than a month away from the
Yes.
start of Pizza Expo, our 40th anniversary. So there is nothing but excitement over here.
the big 4-0. Yeah, we've been promoting it like crazy. This is going to be a big one, and this is the most excited. I mean, I get excited for every Pizza Expo, but this is the most excited I've been for Pizza Expo in a long time because I think it's just going to be wild.
It
I
is.
agree. I get a weekly report from our ops team about the pre-show workshop, pre-registration numbers, and they just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. And I looked at the one this morning, and man, this show is going to be great. We're killing it. The obviously Scott's Pizza Tour. If you wanted to go on it, too
Sold
bad.
out.
It sold out in like a day or two. It's been sold
That's
out
always the
for weeks.
first thing to sell
Yeah.
out. So
Mhm.
if you ever want to do that, in future years, you need to do that immediately.
You've
And I
got to get
believe
on it
the
early.
competitions are full. I think there's still some spots in World Pizza Games, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be mistaken. Those could all be full as well. So you have to check that out if you're a dough spinner or you got the fastest time on a dough stretch.
Right, right. And listen to these numbers, guys. Making pizzas with Tony Gimignani, 101 pre-registered, folks pre-registered. Making dough with Sourdough Willie, 73.
Wow,
Obviously, Scott's Pizza Tour is booked out, and all of our other pre-show workshops are all in the 30s or 40s. So these rooms are going to be
that's amazing.
completely packed.
Yeah, and let's not forget that everyone needs to get there on needs to go to the Monday early arriving sessions because that's where you can really sit in and really, get it done before the show floor opens.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt. There's so much to see, so much to do that 2 days is just not enough time.
right. Even if you did not sign up for a pre-show workshop, like Denise said, there are seminars on Monday afternoons. So come by early, pick up your badge registration. Already have that prepared, and then go to some of the later afternoon seminars. And we also have a early arriving attendee reception from 5 to 6 p.m. As well. So we'll have some drinks and some appetizers there.
Yeah, and those rooms will be packed. I mean, last year those it was standing room only. So get there early. Be ready to chat with the people around you because meeting other operators is what this is all about too.
It's wild how
Absolutely.
the Monday content has grown over the last 5 years. Usually Monday was just a day you pick up your badge and that's about it. And now it's
Yeah,
like it's a full day.
It
yeah.
has, and it began as new operator Monday, and everything was from the reception to the seminars. Everything was geared to those who aren't yet in the business but are getting ready to open their first pizzeria or have
Hmm.
just newly opened their first pizzeria. And that information and that content is still out there for them. But the show has grown as we looked around and realized that a lot of people here on Monday are not new operators or veteran operators. So we had to kind of tweak a little bit to accommodate that. And it's crazy now that these men and women who've been in business for sometimes a decade, 2 decades, they're even coming in on Sunday and Monday and before the show floor even opens. It's really cool.
Well,
Well, we
we've
have
been at
St. Patrick's Day the Sunday before, right?
That's
oh
right.
yeah,
So
Drink a green
exactly.
beer that day.
bragging in on Monday. So
I wonder if the workshop attendees will go all out for St. Patty's Day
Ooh.
during their workshops. That would be really fun to see.
work hard, play hard.
Well,
Yeah.
we
Now,
do have the supremely dressed competition
mhm.
again. Now, obviously, wearing wearing green or wearing four-leaf clovers is not going to help you
You
win
can
that.
combine it. You can do a whole like pizza Patty's Day theme and go all out, and you might win. Who
Might get
knows?
some extra
Might.
points for that.
Yeah, who knows? And as we stretch out Pizza Expo, we've got a new event that's on Sunday called Exchange at Pizza Expo, and
Yeah.
that's kind of an exclusive invite only. If you go to pizzaexpo.com, you can find out a lot more about it. But it's definitely one of those things where it's an invite only. There's going to be some FOMO happening, I think, with that one, just to find out how people can get involved with it.
Yeah, it is geared to chain operators,
Yes.
regional chains, even national chains, not the big boys, but if you're a chain that you have between, let's say, 20 to 40 units, this is geared really to you and your
Yeah.
company.
And let's hit on that show floor opening on Tuesday. That well, before the show floor opens, John Arena. Can we just say he's going to
Mm.
be amazing?
Yeah.
I'm so stoked to see him, and he's such an ambassador for the pizza industry. So it's going to be great to hear him speak and have see everyone's response to him.
Yeah. Jeremy you couldn't have picked a better keynote for the 40th. I mean, it just makes sense that
Yeah.
John Arena is the keynote speaker, and I think it's get there early because I think it's going to fill up fast for sure.
It is. I think I've told you guys this before, but I think it was 2 years ago. We were going to tap John for this, and somehow, some way, the pizza god smiled down and put a little lightning bolt in my head, and I was like, "Wait a minute! In 2 years, we're at the 40th. We've got to wait. We've got to wait and bring John in to do this on the 40th." And he was very excited and graciously accepted to deliver this keynote address. He's going to do a great job. I've always said that John was Tony G before there was a Tony G. John came up in the day there was no social media. There was really no internet in the beginning
Mhm.
when John first got started. So that probably hampered his, let's say, notoriety across the country.
Yeah.
Could John be popping on the scene right now with TikTok and Instagram and all that? He'd be the biggest pizza maker in the world.
So
He's helped so many people over the years. He is an outright legend.
Jeremy, for those who don't know, because we have a lot of listeners that aren't in the business yet,
Yeah.
or maybe haven't come to Pizza Expo, they don't know nationally about some of these folks. Tell them a little bit about who John Arena is and just what he means to our industry.
So John is a kid that grew up in New York. He was very into pizza at an early age. And as the old adage went back in the day, go west, young man. That's where the
Mhm.
prosperity was. He moved west. He came to Las Vegas, which does not resemble the Las Vegas we all know
Right.
today. And he
Mhm.
he began he began his journey. He opened Metro Pizza. Metro Pizza has been in business for a very long time. I'd have to look. I don't want to say wrong right now,
Yeah.
but a very, very long time, older than Pizza Expo, so more than 40 years. And he is one of the top pizza makers in the world, one of the most influential pizza people you will ever meet. He has been a mentor and a tutor to many outstanding pizza makers. He's always one who will lend his ear, who will offer advice if asked, who will help you out, whether it's a question you have about dough or a question you have about operations. And more than that, too, he's just a good guy. He's just a really down home, salt of the earth, great human being. And so a lot of people in this industry, if you don't know who he is, a lot of people in this industry have a lot of love for this man.
Absolutely. And once that kicks off on Tuesday, it's just a whirlwind for the next 3 days. I feel like it goes so fast. Once that first keynote sets and then the show floor opens, it's on. We're going, and it just doesn't stop until Thursday late afternoon.
Yeah. You'll get your steps in, Josh. I think
I
what was it you told me one year you were averaging like 45,000 steps a day or something like
wasn't
that?
that quite that many, but I think we were in the 30s. So,
Yeah.
30s.
wear comfortable shoes. Please don't try to be cool. Don't try to be
No.
cool. Just wear some comfortable shoes.
Yeah, it's all about comfort, being on the show floor. Absolutely.
They'd let me
Uh,
wear sweatpants, I would, but I can't.
and let's talk competitions, because the competitions, that's where like we've got so many new things happening in the competitions this year, that I think there's going to be a lot of energy over at the competition stage, with, we even have a
Yeah.
plant-based competition and an uni oven an oven competition. We have our slice, our cheese
Mhm.
slice, which is my
Oh,
going
yeah.
to be my favorite already, and I haven't even had it yet, but I'm sure it will be. There's just a lot
Um,
going on over there.
yes, CMAB is sponsoring a California style pizza competition.
Yep.
Yes.
We also have the International Italian Sandwich Championship, which is a personal favorite of mine. And we have like 5 total divisions of pizza challenges this year. So we got a traditional, non-traditional, pan, Neapolitan, and the California style pizza competition.
Yeah.
So every kind of style pizza you can imagine will be made at Pizza Expo this year.
Absolutely. And it's so fun. But the one thing I want people to make sure they get to are the demo stages too. Because the demo area is just I sit over there in amazement, and I love to watch the faces in the audience as they're just they're just in awe of like how things are being made and how to do things.
Yeah. It's the skill level on display at our competitions is insane. And one thing that we all know from having been around the block, and obviously any tried and true pizzeria operator in the stands is going to realize this as well. But people who are just sitting at home may not realize this. You're in a completely different setting when you're in this competition. You're not using your oven, you're not in your kitchen, and unless your pizzeria is located in Las Vegas, then it's a different humidity, it's a different temperature, it's a different everything. The air is just different in Vegas than it is, in New York or Florida or California or anywhere else, right?
Hmm.
So you are in an environment that you are not used to, and your dough therefore reacts differently than what it would be at home. And so you've got all these different variables, and you've got time constraints, and you've got hundreds, sometimes thousands of eyes upon you. You've got MC walking around shoving a camera in your face. You have people taking your pictures.
Yeah.
You have so much stimuli going
It's
on at one time, and you still have to make a really incredible pizza, because no average pizza comes close to scoring well. It's got to be remarkable.
it's an
Um,
absolute assault on the nervous system.
mhm.
uh, Especially for the first timers. I always like try to my best if I'm around there and it's a first timer, I can tell they're very nervous to say something just to maybe calm them down just a bit or make them crack a smile or something because the tension is very high
Mhm.
Yeah.
in those competitions.
And you can see it in their faces sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be someone we know really well. We'll go up and pat them on the back and how you doing? Make a little small talk to them, and they're talking to us, but they're short.
Oh,
Their eyes are what they're doing. They're
totally different
distracted,
zone.
and
They're in a
yeah,
flow. Yeah, they're in a
yeah,
flow.
they're
You're
in
like,
it.
we're there, but we're not really there. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. It's always fun to watch a competition. Denise, which competition are you most excited about?
Oh, definitely the cheese slice.
Same.
Definitely. That's it's gonna be where it's at, because that's how we rate pizzas when we
Mhm.
travel. So that's how we really think about and process what that holy trinity is, and that is the traditional cheese slice. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for that the most probably. But I'm a big fan of the pan. Me and the pan go way back. I'm a pan fan from way back when.
Feel-
Denise the Pan fan.
That's right.
And Josh, what always sticks out to me sometimes is the once you get into a non-traditional setting, some of the toppings are sometimes bizarre. We've had kangaroo. We've had some weird toppings come through. A lot of times people pull it off and make it work, but we've seen some crazy ones. Can you think of
Alligator.
anything that really blew your mind?
Um, I remember having an alligator one,
Yeah.
but it was good. I've tried so many over the years, and I don't have like a very adventurous palate, especially when it comes to kind of seafood. And so I kind of steer away from those. But that's why I'm a big fan of the traditional competition. I love
Yeah.
that one. That's the day I'm back there in the back trying to get as many slices as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was it's probably 50, this is a long time ago now. It's probably a solid 15 years ago. A gentleman from Europe used blood sausage, and that one turned my stomach a little bit. That was not my cup of tea. And then I remember about 8 or 9 years ago, a gentleman from New Mexico used rattlesnake, and it was outstanding. So you never know what you're gonna see.
Yeah. There's always in the non-traditional, there's always something very unique. I know we've seen gold, we've seen a lot of different ingredients. So I wonder what will be. There's always like one ingredient that you'll see on a couple of different competitors' pies that you're like, this must be like the thing that people are testing right now as far as the gourmet crazy ingredient. And I'm not sure what that'll be this year. One year it was squid ink. One
Yep.
year, yeah, it was, I mean, it's been there have been all kinds of different things, but I'm curious to see what'll happen this year
I always
I
with
can
enjoy that.
remember Eric Von Hansen one year. Like he had, I can't remember. It was a cut of beef from Japan. It may have been Wagyu. I'm not exactly sure what it
Was.
was, but it was like clear the way, here it comes, and it was this tiny little strip. It was not big at all, and he's holding it like this, and he's like, yeah, this little whatever, maybe 4 ounces, and it was something like $400 at the time, but
it.
they paid like an insane amount to have it shipped overnight, have it flown in overnight. And I was like, good Lord, he's using like $2,000 worth of ingredient on this pizza right now.
I don't think we'll ever see that on
On a
the
menu.
Caliente menu, but
No.
it's still nice to compete with.
I don't know.
Sure.
Nick is in like pretty much every stadium in the Pittsburgh area. So maybe if the Pirates ever go
Special.
to the World Series, or the Steelers win a Super Bowl, maybe he'll sell enough pizza that he will put that on the menu.
Maybe so.
Hey, that would be great.
Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide.
Let's talk events. What are you guys excited for? Like, block party's always a blast, right? Like seeing World Pizza Games, seeing the acrobatic finals. That is always so much fun. And that's one that I think everybody's got to get to at some point. Like you have to get to the acrobatic finals. But one of them, I always like beer and bowl. Like beer and bowl is just it's a nice time to sit down and have a beer with people and chat.
Pick your feet up, relax a little bit. There's always a lot of good information
Yeah.
shared at that time. And sometimes, you call it crowdsourcing, I guess, right? You ask a question and someone in the room, more often than not, has a pretty good answer. And when they don't, there's a good laugh because there's beer. So,
Yeah, I remember the block party maybe 7 or 8 years ago was just almost an afterthought to people who come to the show. But now it is like the main event, and people, like it's a must to go to now. And so it's just great to see the crowd there and seeing everybody, cheer on the athletes. It's such a good vibe.
And it's earlier now, so it's a lot easier for people just to go from the show floor directly to the block party.
Yeah,
So
it's over at 7:30, and you can go
yeah,
straight to dinner, which you'll probably
yeah,
need
or
after.
straight to bed if you're still on Eastern time.
Right.
good point. And Denise, you nailed it with the acrobatics. That's always must see TV, so to speak. I mean, these men and women just get more agile and better every year. I remember in the early days, and they were good, but in 2005 when we launched the World Pizza Games, they were good. But that's nearly 20 years ago now. It's 19 years ago. And to see, as Josh said the athletes, the pizza athletes, let's say, they just get better and better and better, and the routines get more elaborate, and
Yeah.
their tricks get more difficult to pull off, and they're executing at a really high level. And we're also seeing more young ladies, more young women than ever before get involved. Early on, it was really nothing but men, and now there are a lot of really good young women who are actively pursuing this and getting involved and doing a great job and are a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. You know,
So go
go
ahead.
ahead, Josh. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna get into on day two, our day two keynote with
Oh
Don
yeah.
and Jackie Farrell. I'm
Yeah.
really excited. This is one of the first like families that I met when I come into the pizza industry, and they've just been so nice to us, so giving, and it's gonna be great to hear them speak.
It is great family. John and Jackie, they opened Forelli's together. John had been in the restaurant industry previously, had already had success. Um, Jack had graduated college, was looking to make her mark, and they opened this together, and it's become a true, family business. Is nieces and nephews and sisters
It's a
are
big family.
involved, and
Yeah.
it's a big family, and it's a great family. And as you said, Josh, they've been nothing but gracious. They've been great friends of Pizza Today, and they've had many opportunities and engagements over the years with Pizza Expo where they've spoken, and but never a keynote. And now's the
Mhm.
time that they will absolutely deliver. They are crushing it out there in
Yeah.
Tacoma, Washington, and I can't wait to sit in on this keynote as well.
Yeah, what I love about their concept is they've just grown organically,
Hmm.
and they've gotten, now they are a regional pizza company. Like they have made their mark and they're continuing to grow. So it'll be really neat, especially for people that maybe have one unit or haven't even opened up their first unit, to see how a company grows and adds multiple units, but still has that close-knit connection with their family, and with the employees there, because they definitely are employee centric.
They are, and that's what I love about them, Denise. I'm glad you said that because they look and they will tell you this, and it's not just a lot of time. A lot of companies, a lot of corporations will give this lip service, but they don't even come close to meaning it. Right? It's
Hmm.
all they care about is the bottom line. They're just trying to sound good and sound politically correct, right? But Forelli's, they really do exist to serve their communities and serve their customers, and well, their customers, but their employees. They are constantly giving back to their communities. They are really truly looking to serve their communities, and they are also looking to serve their employees, and they grow from within.
Hmm.
Their store managers, their executive team, they're all people that have been part of the company and grow from within and get promoted from within, and they're always giving new and better opportunities to anyone in the company who's ready to take that next step. And a
Yeah.
lot of times that's when it's time to open a new store, when they have enough talented people that are ready to take a next step. So they're not out there looking to get to 60 stores in 2 years and how much revenue can I bring in immediately. No, they're really looking to grow by serving their staff and their communities. And that is really refreshing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, moving on to the exhibit hall, I'm going to tell you that I have done some just research. I've been just looking at our exhibitor list and seeing who's on it, who's new, what's happening. And you're going to see a lot of new tech, like a lot of new technology is going to be on that show floor this year. I saw several companies that were dedicated to AI, which, we've seen the sneak peeks of AI, but I think this year you're going to really see it in your face, like in actual application, in traditional companies that we've seen at Pizza
Mhm.
Expo, but also in new companies that we haven't had on the show floor. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really interesting.
And the show floor is sold out,
Yeah,
if I'm
it,
correct. So,
it
I mean, to think about what happened in 2020 and then 2021 coming back and
Mhm.
seeing, the show floor, it was not fun
kind of
to
sad.
it was
Yeah.
kind of sad. To being back in 2024 and it being absolutely sold out.
Mayhem.
It's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's going to be so good. I mean, the amount of new products that are going to be debuted at Pizza Expo. I've seen the sneak peeks. I've seen people already posting on their individual sites, people promoting that they're launching a new product at Pizza Expo, so you better try it. And that's great to see. So I think the show floor is just it's going to be great, but it's also going to require everyone, including us, to have kind of a strategy of how you're going to attack it to actually see and talk to the people that you need to talk to. Like it's gonna be a big show floor this year.
And when
Yeah,
you're
have a game plan. You mentioned that in your article, Denise, in your Pizza
Yeah.
Expo preview article. And as Josh said, start with comfortable footwear. That's a prerequisite. You're going to walk 20 to 30,000 steps most likely. So comfortable shoes, have a game plan. You can just walk in, look around, be blown away by how big it is and start going up and down every aisle. Sure, that's going to take you a long time. You're going to get distracted. You're going to stop 1,000 times along the way. You can do it that way. But if you have if you're there, for example, to get a new mixer or a new point of sale system or a new oven, have a game plan of what vendors you want to see, set up appointments, stop by to where you can really demo the product, ask questions about the product to the knowledgeable sales staff that's there on the show floor. And you'll come out ahead by doing it that way.
And be sure to stop by the 40th anniversary lounge, which will also be the Pizza Today lounge. It's going to be right there in the corner, close to the demo area. So yeah, be sure to drop by and talk to us, and maybe jump on the podcast. We're going to be doing some hot slice podcasting there at the booth. So yeah,
And
we'll
there's
see.
going to be a photo op there, Josh.
Oh
that,
yes,
that
multiple
people
photo
are
op. Yeah.
that people are going to want to do. It is retro to what we used to do. If you're an old school Pizza Expo person, you're going to know what we're talking about possibly, but you're going to want that photo op. Trust me.
I'm working on that design today, actually.
Oh,
So.
good. That's awesome. So something also for the show floor is, there's no longer the competition or the game pieces where you can win the $10,000 mega bucks or treasure hunt. Those are now at the front of the exhibit hall. So make sure you pick up your game pieces so that you could try to win money, because why not win some cash?
It's always fun seeing the reaction,
Yeah.
the total shock of the person who is going to walk home with a nice fat check in their pocket.
Yeah.
That's always fun too.
You usually don't walk away from Las Vegas with a lot of money in your pocket.
No.
Walking away with 10K and having a great show and learning all you've learned, yeah, that's a cherry on top for sure.
Yeah, don't blow it. You're right, Josh. You could win a lot of money and head back to your hotel and lose that all in the casino within minutes if you chose to. So let's be a little more prudent with our.
That's what we do it on the last day. That's why we do it on the last day.
Those are usually direct deposited, so hopefully you won't, and it takes a little while to get it, so you can't spend it right away. That luckily helps you get out of Las Vegas without spending it. So unless you're spending it ahead. So.
Good point.
Yeah.
Well, what about Vegas in general? Anything that you guys are looking forward to seeing or doing? There's always something new every time we go in Vegas, either a new show, a new hotel, a new restaurant. We don't have a lot of free time when we're out there. We rarely get past a convention center. There's usually one night where we have the ability to go out a little bit. What are you guys looking forward to seeing or doing in Vegas this year?
Yeah. Vegas has had a bunch of action this year. They've had the F1, they've had the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean they've really entertained a lot of folks this year. So but this is Pizza Expo, so they better get ready for that.
Yeah. I'm looking
Denise,
forward
you mentioned
to
indoor skydiving.
So I'm gonna do indoor skydiving because it's kind of a leftover residue of my birthday. I always try to do something new and challenge myself. Well, I've never done indoor skydiving, so I'm gonna do that. It's right next to the convention center. That helps. So that is one thing that I'm gonna do while I'm there. And I want to have some good meals. That's pretty much it. Like as far as outside of Pizza Expo.
Yeah. And we are just as a reminder, we are in West Hall again. We're the same place we've been the last 2 years.
So nice there.
Hall. It's so nice. We love it. So yeah, that's so it'll keep you from walking around the convention center for an hour to find where we're at, but we're in the West Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
a great place to be.
yeah, and I like it because the West Hall feels like everything's so together. Like you just go up the stairs and there's the education seminars, and you go down to the show floor. Right there it is. So it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, if you're staying at Resorts World or at Fountain Blue or Encore or even the Wynn, it's easy walkable.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get transportation
That's
there.
right.
Yeah, and if you try to order a cab because they get mad at you because sometimes you don't realize it's that close. So just they get mad at you if you order a cab.
Okay, everyone, in case you
Yeah.
haven't figured out, Denise called a cab for basically half a block ride, and the
I didn't
cabbie looked at her
know.
like, "What?
2022,
It's
yeah.
right there."
I didn't know. We were fresh out of the pandemic, y'all. I hadn't traveled very much. I'm gonna blame it on that.
It was a
Okay,
good
Denise
hotel.
is
We
blaming
haven't seen that hotel before, so
Yeah, it's fine. It worked. But we're really excited for the show, and I'm really excited for our 40th anniversary lounge. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how that comes
Did a
together.
lot of work on it, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're
And
bringing
I'm
the
excited about the
podcast.
Hot Slice podcast that
Yeah.
we're going to be able to produce out there. One of my favorite things is when we talk to pizzeria operators that we have not previously met, that we don't know yet, and we learn about their business. And we interview them on the Hot Slice. I think that's a lot of fun. So if you're out there and you're interested, you know what we look like. Grab Josh, grab Denise, grab myself. Be like, hey, I want to be on your podcast. I've got a good story to tell. I just celebrated my 5th anniversary or my 25th anniversary, or I just hit the $500,000 sales mark or the $1 million sales mark, or whatever it is that you're doing well. We want to hear about it. We want to celebrate that and talk to you on the podcast about it.
Yeah, and I will say, if we are not there, because oftentimes we're just running around like crazy.
Too many places to be.
We will have a person in the booth, so just leave a note for them with your number, so I can text you back, and we'll get you back on, get you back over there to be interviewed. So
yeah, because we're always on the go. We have to be here, we have to be there. We're always on the move, but we're always stopping by to check messages to see if anyone came by. All that.
Absolutely. Well, I haven't packed yet, of course, because I packed a day before. But we are in our final stretches. Make sure you keep an eye out for pizzatoday.com, as we're just going to be pushing more news about the show, just to try to get you ready, some tips, ideas, just to make the show a lot easier for you.
And be sure to download the Pizza Expo mobile app.
Yes.
Get you around. It's all things Pizza Expo. You can plan on your agenda. There's just so much on there. It's very important that you have that. Katie, put the little QR code right here, if you don't mind, and so people can download that right now. And yeah, it's super important.
Absolutely. That app, it gets me through the show. So I love it.
All right, guys. Well, if I don't see you again, I'll see you in Pizza Expo.
Yeah. See y'all at the show.